The Patton Report is a Boink Studios production. And now, on with the show.
Welcome to the Patton Report. I'm your host, as always, Chris Patton. I am blessed by a brilliant filmmaker and talented artist, South Turk. Great drummer. He will, like the amount of drum heads this man needs of how heavy-handed he is. It's over 9,000. He makes Dave Grohl cry. Dave Grohl, heavy-handed drummer. No way. Dude, see this man play. I have played with this guy a lot over the years. And also, Bachman's Basement intro, South Turk creator. Brilliant man. Beautiful. Look at him. Look at him. It's so cute. Great artist. And I'm so happy to be a friend of his and be a part of some of his films. So launch in with an interview or like, hey, South, what, and before we go into like a whole interview thing, what you been up to, man? What do you like? What do you love? What you been watching?
Wait, are you recording video too? Is this a video podcast?
Oh, no, I'll just rip the audio out. It's fine. Oh, yeah, it's video. It's video. Now it's video.
No, you just said look at him. You're saying
look at him.
And then I was like, am I being looked at?
You are being looked at. There's 78 dildos buying something.
Well, yeah, they're always watching. I've been good, man. I've just we're in the post-Halloween season, so I'm enjoying a little chilly weather up here in Chattanooga, Tennessee, where I live now. And what's been going on with you? Well, hey, first of all, want to say congratulations about the new two shows you got going on here, the Patton Report and Old Bachman's Basement. Like, it's not easy. It's not easy stuff there. So hey, a round of applause for you there, Chris. Good job.
Bachman's Basement, the last episode is going to be very fun for listeners because it is a top 10 of novels and Stephen King adaptations.
All right.
I'm sure that
people are going to love it. Yeah. No disagreements whatsoever.
There's no way that they're going to have any disagreement of Stand By Me being on my film list.
People love that movie, right? I don't think that's too controversial.
They do. I think when people think of Stephen King, they don't think about like Green Mile or Stand By Me or Hearts in Atlantis.
Of course. They think of, It or The Shining or doing so much.
Shining was number one, but that's not fair because Stanley Kubrick is like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. And also just the brilliance of Maximum Overdrive, doing so much cocaine on set on your, directorial debut that you black out for most of it.
I love that you brought that up because it made the list.
Yeah, okay. All right. What number is
made the list? I felt bad because Christine is really good, and I was like, I'm going to put one car gimmick on the thing.
Yeah.
I was like, Eastbound and Down. We're doing spooky.
This is really blowing your audience's mind because we're talking about an episode that hasn't come out yet, but we're talking about it in the past. It's like we're time travelers.
This checks in. We're like Dark Tower Part 8.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Hey. Okay, yeah. Cool.
We're thinnies.
Yeah. Hey, what about this It TV show? Have you checked that bad boy out? Are you going to cover that?
It's good.
Yeah, it's good.
It's I like it. I liked it a lot. I thought it was really creative. There is this spoiler alert.
I've heard. Well, tell me this: is it true? I heard that it's like the government wants to capture it and use them against the communists in Vietnam or something.
It is very much there's a government conspiracy kind of thing instead of going the route of like it's just an old spider that's been an altered dimensional person that's killed this town the entire time. There's definitely much an alien government cover up kind of thing, which I kind of like. But there's like a little cherub rock baby demon thing.
Yeah. Okay.
That happens in the first episode.
Like The Rock? Like Dwayne Johnson?
No, yeah. A little baby Dwayne The Rock Johnson with his steroid bitch tits flies out of a woman's vagina, and well,
Listen,
some of
yeah.
that is true.
Yeah, I've heard some things. So the idea, the setup that I heard was really interesting because I was like, this might get us to one day to have like Pennywise in Apocalypse Now, you know?
Pennywise is actually trying to save America.
Yeah. If they
He was
send Pennywise off to Vietnam, and then he's just like in the jungle, you know, like doing his little voice, you know, doing the opening monologue, like every time I wake
It's
up,
like-
I think I'm
like-
here.
It's like War of the Worlds, alien ships shooting down lasers, and Pennywise is just like, I am a real American. He's got his Hogan gear on.
So you like it?
Yeah, I'm down. You should make that
Yeah.
movie.
Oh, I thought they were making it right now on HBO Max.
Yeah. Speaking of movies,
Okay.
let's
Back
lead
on track.
into this interview. Back on track
Back
with
on
my
track.
very
yeah.
static ass questions.
Okay.
I've always known you as a big horror fan.
Okay, yeah.
You lean a lot into the horror genre, right?
Mm-hmm.
What first drew you to the horror genre, and was there a specific movie or moment or time that like made you be like, I want to do that. I want to make something creepy.
Yeah, you know, like sometimes I tell people that it's like the thing about horror is that it has the least amount of rules in terms of like where you can go. You know what I mean? You can't make huge leaps, you know, in like a drama or even like, you know, maybe in comedy, sure, but so horror has always just seemed like, you know, a place where your imagination can always run wild. So it's like I just find the stories that I come up with just leaning more towards that area because, you know, I don't like really playing by the rules narrative wise in terms of, you know, what can and cannot happen. So horror, I'm just kind of drawn to horror. And then growing up, the first movie I remember watching was, of course, Batman from 1989, the Tim Burton movie. And my parents still talk about that they, instead of just putting on Sesame Street or putting on, you know, any Disney movie or anything, they just put on Batman 89 and just, you know, I'd watch it front to back, you know, but from a very young age, as soon as it came out on VHS. I have pictures of my second birthday of my uncle coming dressed as the Joker. And so I don't remember a time because at some point I realized there were words at the beginning of the movie, and someone clearly, probably my mother, explained to me that those were the people that made the movie. And I learned the names, and I learned Tim Burton, and then I can't say if I saw the cartoon Beetlejuice first or the movie Beetlejuice, but I definitely connected that, oh, that's the same Tim Burton that did Batman. So from a very early age, and this sounds pretentious, but it's like, it was like, oh, there's a single person creating this. And I know it's not true. I know how films and animation work, especially, but that fascinated me as a very odd, like, oh, one person can do this. And Beetlejuice definitely probably led me closer to the, you know, ghouls and ghosts and goblins, even though that's the line from Batman, side of things. And at the same time, I watched a lot of Universal horror movies because I think they were having like a little heyday in the 90s of that period where they were being released on VHS, and I know there was like a Burger King line, and so I was watching a lot of like the original, you know, Boris Karloff, Frankenstein, and Dracula, and the Creature from the Black Lagoon, and all the bad ones like the House of Dracula, the House of Frankenstein, you know, stuff like that. And then so that's just like the very early, you know, parts of my DNA creatively come from there. So it's really no other way to go.
Yeah. So, man, I remember the Universal Burger King things. They had the cups, like you could buy the cups. It's the same thing with the Batman Forever. They had the little, crystal. That's fancy wear. If you have all of the Batman Forever crystal glasses, it's what you put out at party.
I do. I think my mother does, but I'll get those fine beauties one day.
I can't wait until you put out your cheese splatter and your Batman Forever glasses on the table.
Exactly. With my fine fruit juice.
So you hit on my next question as far as are the directors that influenced your style, and if so, who are they? I know some because we know each other personally, but you name dropped. I did not expect the Tim Burton. I know how much you love 1989 Batman. We've talked about it for years and years. I am more of a Batman animated series guy. That was my first Batman, but I did love 1989 Batman a lot. And funny enough, we both have family members that dress up like the Joker, apparently. Because I had my grandmother Sue, R.I.P. Sue Carroll. She dressed up like the Joker. She had a women's business purple suit on with the pink makeup, the whole nine.
I had no idea.
Yeah. Yes. So we both.
Wild.
Apparently, this is a 90s kids thing.
But
to not show up as the hero. Not to show up as the hero, to show up as the villain and terrorize children. Neither of us had Batman never showed up. It was just
you don't understand. I was like too. Like I don't think I understood that Batman and the Joker were like good and bad guys. I was just like, hey, the guys on the TV with the big balloons with the gas in them. He's banging the mobster's wife or girlfriend, whatever that is, I cannot repeat enough. Though I'm not as big of a fan as I used to be, but I would not be doing anything in film about Tim Burton. That him, I remember my parents renting Ed Wood and being mad that I couldn't watch Ed Wood because it was Tim Burton. But it was an R-rated movie, and I'm sure they didn't want to explain, Ed Wood's lifestyle to me at that age. But after that, I was just like, no, I want to see everything this guy does. So I saw his. We were in London last year for a family thing with my wife's family, and we went to the Tim Burton exhibit they had at the Museum of Design, I believe, there, and it was just like a full circle thing, seeing all his stuff growing up, his where he would draw storyboards and little not coloring books, children's books, and just from that to where he is today, just kind of tracking his art. And it was just, like I said, I don't love everything he's done. I've kind of grown apart, or he's grown in different ways as an artist from what I first responded to. And there's so much, I think Big Fish is a wonderful film. But he will always be one of the main reasons that led me down this road. So I can't really deny that. And then also and I can't also not dismiss the importance of Ted Turner's PBS broadcasting whatever the hell they wanted to play movie-wise.
Movies for guys that like movies.
I remember watching the original Alien on TBS in the middle of the night once, and it was how did they show that?
I thought the Kumite was so real, which apparently based on a true story. My entire life, I thought there was people out here having death matches in Taiwan or whatever. I was I believe Jean-Claude Van Damme murdered 20 people in Taiwan. Okay, USA, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Man, dude, that's the first time I saw Maximum Overdrive was on
Yeah,
TBS.
TBS.
Like they showed such weird things on there, and probably, looking back at it, if I was a parent, which I'm not, I don't have kids. I watch whatever I want. But like 8 o'clock on a Friday, maybe your kids don't watch
Yeah.
TBS or TNT.
Yeah.
What was the dinner theater thing that they did for?
Dinner and a movie.
Yeah, dinner and a movie. They showed. Every once in a while, they'd wake up in the morning and they'd have those movies rolling. There'd be a good Smokey and the Bandit. And you're like, yeah.
Yeah.
Good Cannonball Run out there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. They'd show a lot of like really highbrow. I mean, highbrow that you could get away with on showing over like public television.
I mean, you nailed one with Alien. Like that's when I saw Alien with like TBS or.
I saw. I remember seeing. I'm pretty sure it was The Shining. It was probably the first Kubrick I saw on TBS. So it was just wild. It's wild now. Like that when you go back and look, and you kind of like, wow, that shaped who I am. But like, what the fuck? Who was monitoring that? Not until in terms of like
just watching a movie. It's fine.
Yeah. Not in terms of my parents, but just like who was letting that stuff on the air?
Syndicated television is so crazy. Like the fact that The Shining may have came on like TBS, like because also that's going to be 6-hour block with ads.
With ads, you're right.
Because it's a 3-hour movie.
That's not a 3-hour movie. It's like it is not. It's like 2.25. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, BBC America every year does the Thanksgiving Godfather special.
Oh yeah.
So you get tuned into that, and you're like, it's Godfather 1 from 1 to 4. It's Godfather 2 from 4 to 8. Like, it's like that's a lot.
That's
I know they're long movies, but
that's a lot of time with Al Pacino. You know what I mean?
Ooh, wow. Oh no, my bad.
He's in there too. No, Pacino does the hoo-ah stuff.
Ooh, wow. He's got a great ass.
Got a great ass.
And you're all the way up it.
Man, yeah.
Yeah, we should do a fucking whole show about Heat. Let's talk about Heat. We should do and I was gonna do an interview, but now we should talk about Heat. How great.
Yeah. I think I think if we forced every middle schooler who identifies as a male to just watch Heat once every month.
And Scarface, clearly.
No. Just Heat, Chris. Just Heat. I think the so-called masculinity problem we have in America right now would be solved. I think we just need to watch more Heat. There's a lot of see. I don't think there's any life lessons to really appreciate and learn in Scarface. Besides like drug dealing tips 101 or whatever. But we're in Heat. I think man, that you can learn how to live a life that might be something to be proud of as a man.
Do you think like Dave Grohl walks through life?
People hate Dave Grohl right now. Like people get really upset about him.
Does he walk through life knowing he's an alpha male? Does he talk about it to
Dave
other
Grohl?
Beta males?
Yeah, I don't know. He hangs out with a lot of other alpha males. So like
when he hangs out with Kirsten Novoselic, who's the alpha in the room?
Ooh, I think people would think Dave, but I think Novoselic is secretly. Yeah. I mean, who do you think when it's like Dave Grohl and Josh Homme and Nick Oliveri and Mark Lanigan in the studio to record songs for the deaf? Like a room full of
didn't one of them like hold up a convenience store and like I think there's a clear answer on this one.
Listen.
If Kirsten Novoselic's there though, there's a question to be asked.
Yeah. There's that famous story about I guess the only time Josh Homme met Kurt Cobain. He was like, hey, yeah, I'm Josh from the band Caius, and I can't remember what Kurt said, but I think he was just like, all right, pussy.
I love Kurt Cobain could go through life being an asshole, living
Yeah.
rent free because Curse Novoselic existed in his band. But like, look at the band. Curse Novoselic looks like he looks like a fucking Lord of the Rings character.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. We got so off topic.
Yeah, I know. Who edits this thing?
No one.
It's just do it live.
Yeah, it's the fuck it. We'll do it live.
Mm.
You've played music with me, you know, I guess.
Yeah, I do know, I guess.
Yeah. So, real question, and this one I was pretty proud of when I was prepping these questions.
All right, lay it on.
When
me.
you're writing or planning, right? Like, what gets your juices flowing creatively? Like, what is something that like you see or hear, and it really gets you in the mindset of like, I'm going to sit down and write something?
You know, if there is something, I'm not sure what it is. Usually it's just more like you get that brief glimpse of a tail to chase and you chase it, you know? And whatever it is that you're chasing, sometimes it might flutter out. Sometimes you might lose attention or move on to something else, but some things almost demand to be followed. And I you know, I know it sounds, you know, artsy and all this stuff, but it's like you just got to see it through. And I think that's where the real art stuff, where the stuff I'm most proud of comes from. It's just like recognizing like, oh, this is an idea, this is a mood, this is a scenario that if I keep going for it, it's going to reveal even more and more. You know, it's like you're pulling like a ribbon out of like a black hole, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And then after a while, you go, "Oh wow, this is something that I have to do." You know, because you at that point have developed some kind of relationship with the idea, the concept, or whatever it is, and you want to respect it in a way. And you know, also, it's one of those things. I'm sure you experience it too, like songwriting, where it kind of you know you won't sleep right until you get this idea out or like down written somewhere or in some form. You know, you can't you will not have any peace until you do that. So it's kind of just learning how to best navigate that is more so than like, you know, I smoked a blunt or something and got creative. You know, it's different. Though I understand that works for other people, you know, different folks, different strokes. But that for me, it's more so that, you know.
Have you had the moment where you've creatively worked on something so hard, like you spent hours and hours and hours and hours and hours frustrated, and then you write something in like 15 minutes?
Oh yeah, of course. And it's just like, what the fuck, you know?
And it's like you're like doing this opium, like big ass idea of like, I know this will be great. I'll eventually get there. And I'm taking song structures from all these, or not song structures, but for you, like different field things. You're taking all of these different ideas and like, I need to put it in the song. I'm just going to work on it and work on it and work on it. Yeah. And then like you sit down and you do like a 15-minute thing that you think is not that important. And people are like, this is great.
Yeah. Oh, I know. But you know, like after a certain point, you just like, you realize that you're at this whatever it is, whatever you want to call it, the muse, the creativity, the life force, whatever. You're at its mercy. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's just how it goes. Like you can get frustrated. You can try to turn, you know, learn like different methods, but it's like you can sit and meditate. You know, I'm another artist or director, filmmaker who influenced me was David Lynch, and he was a big proponent of meditating. Hugely into it, had his own foundation, et cetera, et cetera. And I definitely get like his ideas that if you meditate and clear your mind, ideas, you know, will come to you. But it's like, I can really try to focus and try to like do similar things and come up with ideas, but nothing will ever be better than an idea that hits you when you're driving to work at like 6:30 a.m., you know, on a March morning, and the sun's coming over the hill at the right point, and you just like get it. You just get it sent to your head. Like you can't beat that moment, you know? If it's lyrics to a song, if it's like, oh, what if this is about this and this is a story? Or so, you know, there's a lot of people make a lot of money selling how-tos and secrets to it, but there's really, you just can't explain it. It just happens. It chooses you, you know?
Yeah, it's like a stream of consciousness, like, right?
Yeah.
Like, and it's frustrating because that might not be your favorite thing that you've written. For me,
Yeah.
you know,
Mhm.
it's going to be the best, but it might not be your favorite thing. So it's really weird when you're chipping away at something that you've had these big plans for, or ideas, or
Yeah.
and you were working on it like day after day after day, and then you just like get that lightning bolt moment, basically, like where
Mhm.
lightning's like, here's
Yeah.
a song,
Yeah. You're
or
welcome.
here's
You know?
a movie. You're like, that's
Yeah.
great, but like there is some disappointment to that too, because it makes you realize like this. I spent a lot of time working on this other
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, I know. It's so frustrating, you know? Especially it's like if you were especially writing scripts, it's like you'll go through periods or certain scenes where like some scenes will just come out of you like you've already seen this movie, you know, like, and you're just spitting it out, like constantly going, and it's like over. And then some scenes you're just like beating yourself in the head with a hammer because you can't figure out like how this woman is getting out of her car to go inside the grocery store, you know, like.
Yeah, like, I mean, that's the part about being a director that's crazy to me, is because, like, as a viewer, right? Like, just as a viewer, you're just seeing
Yeah.
the aesthetic of whatever's happening, but there's very specific moments in everything of what is happening there. Like if it's a Piggly Wiggly, that sets a time period, right? It's like Piggly Wiggly in North Carolina, the
Yeah.
cars, like even everything like about that stuff. Like, my brain doesn't work to that level of detail, so I would be a terrible director unless
Well,
I just like set in current time every time, because I wouldn't want to think about that kind of things. But just like very small stuff, like, and you're really great at that, like very small aspects of like background and like the color, the way the room looks, though. Like, I would be awful at that.
well, yeah, well, thank you very much. But you know, I those are things, those detailed things too. It's just like you also can just find other people to help you out with, you know, like have them on set, you know, like, yeah, you get to be, art designer for the day, you know, more or less. But yeah, so
All right, so we went through a lot of these questions with the same question, so let me get my bearings here. What is it like working on a smaller budget, and what are some of the ways that you make limited resources work for you?
yeah, you just have to make really good friends with people that are dependable and kind of have the same passion for you, and that's hard. That's really hard because especially as you get older, it's like a lot of people like doing this for like a hobby or something to meet other people or whatever that have on their Instagram reels. But then some people are doing it because they absolutely love it and it's their life. You know, it's what they wake up in the morning for. So you if you find those people and find a good group of them, it that makes things tremendously easier on like you said smaller budget. Like we normally have next to nothing budgets. You know what I mean? Um, the last production I did was called The Contest. It's the short film that just won me best director for a short at the Atlanta Horror Film Festival. Sorry. Um, all the locations were, a friend of mine's house in Atlanta, my family's house in Braselton, Georgia, and then, split the crew was in cast were split among friends and other friends and friends of friends, etc. And a lot of people were working for free, and if I have it where it's like if you're I when I recruit people to be on crew or a cast, I talk to them and kind of say like, do you need money? Because if you need money, we can probably get you something, but like be aware there's really none. You know, like I will probably be like taking out my back pocket or, you know, selling things. And I'm fine with that. I realize people need to be rewarded for their time, you know. And then I, you know, no one wants to ask someone to work for free, but at the same time, you have to be kind of realistic that like no one's, you know, making short, independent, no budget films in 2025. Like no one's getting rich today over it, you know. So that's a big element of it. It's just finding cool people that are passionate and will go the extra mile for you because they believe in your vision and believe the work as something that is to be proud of and hopefully have a good time doing, you know. So that's a big part of it. I try to take care of my people. I try to take care of all the people I depend on. And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's impossible because no one's perfect. No one's, you know, everyone can have a bad day. Everyone can be grumpy in the morning, you know, whatever, especially on these shoots where time is important and sometimes you're working late. So yeah, that and learn to do as much as you can. It's like I do not, I write and direct and edit and do effects and design the posters and design the fonts and do all this stuff that someone else could do, but it's kind of like, well, I can do it. Why? And I'm, you know, I'm all right at it. Why pay somebody? So
yeah, I think it's one of those things like you're encompassing a big ship, right? Like as the director of an indie film where you're like, I'm taking on sound editing and film editing.
Yeah.
You're doing all of that. And that's so scary to me. That's very scary. That's a lot of things. So the fact that there's people like you and people, you know, other independent artists that take on this task, because just even for me, like doing a YouTube video or whatever is like, oh, this is daunting to some extent because there's it's just the familiar like being unfamiliar with the process, right?
Yeah.
And like you're doing that to a next level to some extent of like, one, you're directing it, like, or you're looking at all the cameras, you know what's going on, but then you're also putting it together, and that's so that would be so scary for me. Like I would not.
Yeah, and that is something that's like I can usually, you know, as in directing mode, I can usually go ahead and say like, well, South, the editor, will know how to do this, how this is going to cut to that and back and forth. So there is an advantage where it's kind of like, I don't, you know, one hand definitely always knows what the other is doing and can plan ahead and they can kind of cover each other. So that is a benefit to that where, though, you know, of course, on the other end of that is where I'll be editing and I'll just be like, God damn it, why didn't director South, you know, remember to get this and that, or, you know, pick this up. But on the other hand, all I have to blame is myself, so it makes things a little easier. But there's also like there's a moment in every production where I'm always like the last thing I'm working on editing wise or post production is that I'm always like, this is it. I next time I'm gonna hire an editor. But I know I won't because like I'm just gonna be like, you did everything fucking wrong. Like, what's wrong with you? You know?
You're just yelling at the guy. He's like,
yeah.
You fired me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I'm not gonna do that to anybody, you know.
Oh man, I would definitely be the same way. I'm so weird about that process, and well, you've played in a band with me, you know, it can get heated sometimes. I definitely wouldn't be the same way. Like I could send it to someone to edit and produce, but like also I know like getting that out though, that's a big part of the creative process, right? Like getting whatever your idea is out there and the atmosphere and having people buy into it, and that's very hard, right? Like,
yeah, that's very hard. Yeah.
So you're talking about like your friends and family and people pitching in. It's like that's because they believe in your idea, and that goes a long way. And I you know, for anyone out there listening, if you have an idea, art wise and creative, like, you know, pitch it.
Yeah,
like
get it out.
Yeah, just get it out. Like even if it's bad, even if it's a I don't think, I'm not going to say there's no such thing as a bad idea. It's like, the Holocaust.
Yeah.
But,
we stop this kind. Yeah.
As far as art goes, like, you get your idea out there, like, tell it to people.
And even if it is a bad idea or something like that, like, kind of think, okay, where is this idea coming from, and kind of explore it that way, because like it might be a bad idea on the surface, but if you dig deeper, there might be gold in them hills. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there could be something fun underneath it, or something that you didn't think about. So present your ideas to other people and have that collaboration and work, and move from there.
And I know it's hard too, because one part of that, being an artist, it's like, you kind of have to crack open your chest and show your innermost heart to people, and that's not easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, letting people poop on you is not necessarily the most fun thing.
Yeah, because that is one thing. And you probably relate to it of the band, but it's kind of similar with like running a crew. Is that like these are the the closest people to you that you're making art that you're super proud of, and the whole thing is so important, like, and everyone's putting their best stuff in, but at the same time, they're also going to poop on your idea. They're also going to constantly ask questions and be like, well, isn't it, wouldn't it be better in this key, or why are you doing this shot and everything. So it's like a real thin line that you have to walk of, like, keeping true to your own self, being collaborative, and just kind of keeping it on the road, not pissing people off, not losing people or anything like that. But just it's tough work, and there's no class, there's no online YouTube video to explain how to do that. It's something you got to get out there and just do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like, definitely you can't just ask AI to help you be more collaborative. It'll give you a list of things that you could do. But I feel like that's just that's old school wrestling, right? Like, get in the ring and learn, right?
Oh yeah,
kind of thing. Like,
it's like I have somebody who's on a lot of my sets, and I know at least every production there will be a moment where this person will stop filming and say something like, something about this just isn't right, and they won't say what it is, or they want blah blah. But I know, but at this point I expect it, and I know, and you kind of have to figure out how to not measure. Sorry, a brain died. Kind of how to navigate. You have to figure out how to navigate things like that, because like everyone's working with you. Their opinions are valid. You don't want to be the dictator, or stuff like that. So it's it's funny. It's and like I said, these are, if you're a writer director, main creative force in a production, it's like you got to get used to people kind of second guessing everything you do. So. Sorry to ramble there.
No, I don't think it was a ramble at all. I think it's, if you're ever been like in a band or part of the big creative process, or even a group project when you're like in middle school or whatever, there's always going to be the guy, right? And so you have the idea, right? Like, here's the idea. It's how do you work around that and make everyone feel comfortable about it, and also piss 20 people off, which I was the king of pissing people off back in the day. So, in some of our projects musically, but yeah, like that's tough, man. It's tough work. And the fact that you're like, as a director and knowing everything that goes into making a short film, it's a very hard process.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's like there's nothing else in the world I'd rather be doing, and I'm not even really, so this is not like my day job. Well, I call it my day job, but this is, I'm not making money from this or anything. Yeah,
it's gonna be your day job after this podcast.
After
this blows up. Number one on the internet.
Yeah. So it's just it's something I kind of wouldn't wish on anybody else, but like I understand, like I've said earlier, if you have it, you realize there's nothing else you can do. So
it's such a self-deprecating thing with art, like whether it's a podcast or music, or that like it's never going to be what you think it's going to be to some extent. Like you always want it to be bigger than it's going to be, and you're going to spend way more time and effort on it than you're ever going to get like financial recovered from. Things. So it's weird.
You hate to sound like Joe Exotic, right?
Well, I mean, he is the Tiger King.
Yeah, you're right.
You're right. He'll never financially recover from this. Hopefully that guy's doing okay.
Yeah, he's in it. Yeah, every once in a while he pops up in the news. I see. I think he was pushing old Donnie real hard for a pardon recently. So I don't know if that's going to go through.
I can't believe that they made a movie out of Joe Exotic and didn't cast me. I would have looked really good with him.
Yeah, well,
and I love cats, so
it seems like a pretty obvious choice here.
Yeah. Well, like what Hallmark studio do I have to walk in to get Joe Exotic?
Well, Tyler Perry's studio is right down the road from you. You just go down there.
Well. Random Homeless White Guy, Part 1.
Part 1. The Diary of a Random Homeless White Guy, Part 1.
My homeless ramblings would cast me throughout all of the rest of the
Hallmark universe.
Yeah.
Are all the Hallmark movies in the same world? Have they ever established that?
I mean, I just assume that they're all Christmas land.
Okay, yeah, good point.
Shout out to my friend Joe in Hallmark of Greatness, where they cover all of these bad Hallmark movies.
Oh, hey Joe.
Go listen to those.
Hey Joe.
Hey Joe.
You go put down none of your hair.
Let's talk about how good that song is. You know what? Let's break away and talk about actually how great Jimi Hendrix was in the time period of these flower children.
The flower children.
And their Americana folk songs.
Okay, all right. But what about his favorite guitar player of all time? He was around, but he was in Texas, I guess.
No, this little guy he knew from Texas.
Yeah. But Stephen Stills was there. Stephen Stills, I think him and Jimmy jammed a little bit too for a while. I think he was appreciative of Stills.
Yeah, we got to be very careful talking about Jimi Hendrix and Stephen Stills because
why? I don't understand what's going on. Why?
You don't know the Stephen Stills Jimi Hendrix song? Like even title, I can't throw that on YouTube.
Oh yeah. I thought maybe Stills was getting legal savvy or something.
No, but that Treetop Flyer performance on Howard Stern show I've been talking about for years.
You're been talking about it for years. Yeah.
So good. Treetop Flyer. That's top tier song.
Yeah, I mean Stephen Stills got some he's really underrated despite being in one of the biggest bands of the 60s and 70s. Several of the biggest bands, I guess. Yeah, I'm glad he's. I've seen him live a couple of times. Not by himself though. I'd like to see that. I don't know what he's doing. I know he does like a show for, I think autism. I think out in California every year maybe around Christmas. I might just be making this up, but yeah, I don't know what that cat's up to. Hope he's doing well. Shout out to you, Steven.
Shout out to Stephen Stills, his next guest on the podcast.
Yeah, let's do this next week, right?
That'd be amazing. If I could pull Stephen Stills, I feel like I made it.
Yeah, but you just talk about Jimi Hendrix.
I'm like, so what was it like hanging out with Jimmy?
Yeah.
How good was that drummer? Am I right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no one talks about
the experience. Yeah, the experience, man.
We're way off track. That's fine. It's fine.
All right. It's all right.
So this is like kind of a deep question, I guess, and I don't think there's any kind of right answer for this. Or how do you feel about streaming platforms? Have they helped or hurt independent film?
I think they have hurt independent film. I don't think anyone's getting paid. I think that the industry is struggling. And while there is a benefit to having so much easily access stuff like at your fingertips at all times, and you people make the argument, it's like, well, all these movies on streaming are getting, or more people are watching those who would never watch them previously. And it's like, okay, great in terms of exposure, but like, where is it going then? Are they going out hunting down the filmmaker, hunting down the cast and crew, or the production company, or whoever owns it, whatever, blah blah blah, and supporting them? Because it creates like a market issue that is not helping. You know what I mean? People talk about once physical media became such non-existent, like that the mid-budget movie just disappeared. Like now it's bare bones, spend as little as we can, or we got these 100 million, or at least 75 to 100 million larger budget movies that's all people are making anymore. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with those size movies, but like, think about like in the 90s or like the 80s and back to the 60s, it was like the idea of like these smaller, not small, but just like kind of mid-budget movies that weren't, huge. And also you could go see just like dramas starring like old people. You know what I mean? Like think about all the Clint Eastwood romantic movies in the 90s. Like they couldn't get those in theaters anymore. But Clint was doing some of the best work of his career there. So
I feel like there was like one guy that was just pitching these Clint Eastwood movies. Like, anyway, Clint Eastwood has a monkey.
Well, no, that was in the 80s. But you got to think
of Clint Eastwood is in love.
Yeah, he's in The Bridges
with
Madison County.
Clint Eastwood's in love with a vending machine.
Yeah,
Unforgiven is so great.
I'm
gonna have to do a whole last show about Unforgiven.
It really is
one of his best performances.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no one says that.
No one talks about Morgan Freeman in that movie, but he's like, he doesn't want to be part of the gang life anymore. He's married, he's old, but he's still a part of it. And the conversations between him and Clint Eastwood in that film are great. Like, he doesn't get enough love for that movie. Shout out to Morgan Freeman, listener of the podcast.
Yeah, for sure. That's how he spends his time these days,
Yeah. But also,
how old is he?
Two Aussies.
Two Aussies. Gene Hackman's pretty good in that movie too.
Gene Hackman is great, and Gene Hackman is like the worst. Like if you need a terrible asshole fucking sheriff of a town, I immediately think of him. Like even in my mind when I'm playing like Red Dead or something, I'm like, it would be great here, Gene Hackman. Gene Hackman is like, if you were doing it like as a Dungeons and Dragons thing, he's so lawful good that it's bad. As a character choice. The man rolled a D12 and it's bad. It's bad news.
Gene Hackman, someone who I'm fairly sure never played a game of D&D in his life, probably ridiculed someone he saw playing D&D.
But he's also the kind of guy that would play D&D for the first time and be like, this is actually pretty fun.
Yeah. No, he would totally play it if it was like those little battlefield, like the little soldiers that like old people play,
Risk. He's been having an ongoing game of Risk with Clint Eastwood, and Clint Eastwood is not aware that Gene Hackman is no longer here, so he's waiting for the next move.
No one tell him. We should make fun of Clint. I think he's in great age.
I love
spirits. I like that. We both we talked about it off air. You watched his last movie, Jury number 12.
It was great.
Great movie.
It's a very not what I expected from the trailer, and then actually watching it, I was like, man, this is really good. I forgot about that. I need to go back.
Sorry, Jury number 2. Jury number 2 is the name. I kept messing it up.
I can rewatch it again because it's been so long. But I remember being like like I immediately sent you a text message like that was fucking great.
Yeah, legitimately, maybe like I realized that I was like, we have to be close to the end of this movie, and I have no idea how it's gonna end. You know,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
and
like,
that is hard to do.
yeah. I just remember watching it like when people say edge of their seats, like the
Yeah.
ending of that, like heading to the ending, that was an edge of the seat thing because like you have your own mindset of what it's going to be, and it really, man, that's a really good movie. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch that. It's been a while,
Yeah.
but I remember watching it like this is incredible. Now we're talking about Clint Eastwood. How do you feel about monkeys?
How do I feel about monkeys?
Yeah.
I feel. Did you hear about these monkeys escaping the truck that all had like syphilis or something?
Yeah, we injected them with all of the most deadly diseases, and then decided to have a semi truck crash.
Yeah,
They have COVID, hepatitis,
Yeah.
AIDS. They're just running free in the woods. So
And where was
beware.
this? I just saw the news headline. And I thought, well,
Was
that
it
seems
Arkansas
about
or
right.
Alabama? It's one of those. It's
hope it's
either in
Arkansas.
Arkansas or Alabama. So,
Either way, those are both states that I'm currently next to. So
yeah, well, I mean,
I like
never
monkeys.
mind. I'm going to move along and not crap on Arkansas or Alabama. I had a really funny joke about that. So move along. Sorry for all the residents in Arkansas or Alabama. I've been to both those states.
We didn't mean it. We hope you're all right from the
we hope you're
disease monkeys though. If you hear a little child like knock at your door in the night, don't answer. It's probably
I'm more thinking that one's gonna like all of those things are gonna combine. It's gonna be like King Kong. Like it's just gonna show up in the
oh
woods.
my god,
The size of like the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah,
this is the undoing of America. Not politics, but AIDS, hepatitis, COVID monkey.
That would be the video game boss. You know, all the worst diseases that we've put into monkeys for some reason, for scientific reasons, morph into. Isn't this the plot of 28 Days Later? Isn't this how they get the rage virus or something?
It's been so long. Didn't they do like 28 years later recently?
Oh yeah, it was great. It's legitimately one of my favorite movies I've seen this year.
28 years later? Was it?
Yeah, yeah. It's like a folk tale that just happens to take place in a post zombie takeover northern England. So it's kind of like a father and a son story. They're hunter gatherers working for this village, and that they live in, and it's just kind of it's nice. It's different. Some big swings in it, and I understand it might not be everyone's cup of tea, but yeah, no, I like it.
I'll check it out. I mean, should I go back and rewatch the first two?
No, it doesn't matter. No, you remember the rough idea.
Like, is it one of those where you need to go back and rewatch it?
No, what you should really just go back and rewatch Spice World. Just to get a good sampling of late 90s, early aughts English culture, because that does play a part.
I mean, Meatloaf being robbed for Best Supporting Actor in a film at the Oscars that year. It's pretty.
Happens to him constantly.
So what is one of your more creative, like you've obviously working on a smaller budget, etc. What is one of the more creative things you've had to do in a filming situation to get around like a cost budget kind of thing, like something neat, like instead of blood packets we used ketchup or etc.
Yeah. This might have been the thing that I didn't have a good answer for.
I used a bug sprayer for blood on one of your movies.
Oh, you did, yeah. But that's pretty professional. I mean, it's not like we could have someone shoot their fucking brains out. And listen, I'm sure it's the curve, but like you usually come up with these ideas in like scenarios with the understanding that like, oh, I'm gonna have to make this like doable. You know, like it's not like I'm writing in like, all right, and here comes a flying car. Here comes a slug crime boss out of like the Golden Pantry in North Georgia. You know.
Oh my god, I want the movie where I play
Yeah,
basically Jabba the Hutt,
Jabba.
but I
Yeah,
own a golden pantry.
yeah, white trash Jabba the Hutt in Dahlonega, Georgia. Okay.
He's got the little penguin on his shirt too, like a golden pantry penguin. My god, premium only.
Yeah. telling you about new scratch offs they got. Oh, these are Thanksgiving special.
$50 ticket. Ding ding machines in the back.
Exactly. Call me, Disney.
All right, so this one is going to get more to just your personal opinion of horror.
Yeah, okay.
I guess.
Mhm.
Is, what do you think is a good scare versus a cheap jump scare, and is there room for both?
Oh, I think there's totally room for both. Because no matter what you say, no matter what you say about jump scares being cheap or whatever, and I can see the argument. I think, whatever. If you go today to see Jaws in a theater with a reasonably sized audience, when that head pops out from underneath the boat, Ben Gardner's head, people scream. You know what I mean? And like that's classic. So I don't really.
Do you consider that a jump scare though? Like, because me, when I think of jump scare, I think of the PG-13 Japanese horror, like.
I consider a jump scare.
Because Jaws, there's like at least a build up to the scare,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it is what it is. And here's the thing: let's not like sit around and pretend horror at the surface level it isn't anything more than kind of like going to the local carnival spook house. Like as much as I love cinema as an art form, like it's still very much, it started out as like a magic trick. Like do you hear people talk about like some of the early silent Shakespeare adaptations? No, they're talking about like a trip to the fucking moon. People want to see the spectacle and stuff. So I mean, like to me, jump scares are part of the spectacle. That's part of cinema. That's just that's the price of admission to what it is. And it's good to kind of remind yourself not to take it too seriously. So I have no problem with jump scares.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, finish up here.
No, I was finished.
Okay. Yeah, like the jump scare thing being the entire movie is more of the problem, right? Like when it's one, I think there's room for both, and I think when it's really well done, it's great. And we've seen that more in TV shows than we have seen in movies recently, with like combining those two things.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there was a time period like with The Ring and everything after that where it was very much like the jump scare PG-13 horror films.
Yeah, I got you. Someone told me that the Ring. Are you aware of this? That the Ring, the novels that the Japanese novels that the Ring franchise is based on. Sorry, I was saying that backwards. That like in one of them, it's revealed that like the world is like some kind of video game. Were you aware of this?
No. Sounds awesome though.
I might be getting it wrong, but I wanted to check with you. I thought you might like that idea.
Yeah, the title of that book is The Ring.
The Ring.
The hero's link.
Yeah. I think there's some pretty good jump scares in It Follows, which I think is a great movie. And Hereditary too. I think there's one or two in Hereditary. Like the guy.
Yeah, that one I think is a good example for sure of combining both those things, because it's
Yeah.
very like psychological, but then there's also like the quick scares and like the head hid in the post or whatever. That's like a one quick.
Yeah.
That's one jump
It
scare.
is.
It's a different kind of jump scare, but it's there.
Yeah. I had a great experience when I saw Hereditary in theaters, where it was a, maybe there was like 18 or 20 people in it, and it was in a Midtown Art Cinema in Atlanta. And there was a couple in front of me, and this guy would just like lose it at like anything scary, would just be like, "Oh my God!" And like Hereditary, really not knowing anything much about it going into it, it's kind of like overwhelming in this vulgar sense of like, when it starts going bad,
Yeah,
it's going bad. So like it kind of like added into the movie, not its like kind of the surrealness of it, But
and there's not that many of those horror movies going out on film, and like also a lot of people aren't going out to theaters anymore. But like, if you imagine you take that same audience and you're like, here's Hellraiser.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, here's some Tom Savini for you guys.
Well, we're at the disadvantage of kind of growing up with like Hellraiser being like in existence. You know what I mean? Like, can you imagine not knowing anything about that movie and going to see it? Like, I think that was in '87. I guess you could have been aware of the book, but just blindly walking in to see this movie called Hellraiser.
Yeah, you're like, oh man, this is gonna be awesome. It's got hell in the name.
Yeah.
And then you see it and you're like, I don't want to do puzzles anymore.
Yeah, it sounds like this. It sounds like the sweetest like Metallica album you've never heard of.
Oh, you mean that one that Dave Mustaine wrote that they haven't released yet?
Yeah. Instead, you get Clive Barker like forcing like S&M pain and blood kinks on you.
Dave Mustaine's like, I didn't write it that way after it comes out.
Is Dave Mustaine a Cenobite? That's the question.
He is. Clearly. I don't know if you know this, but that's why Master of Puppets is so metal, is the Cenobite.
What is the natural sound that James Hetfield's body produces when he looks down and sees that Dave Mustaine is calling him on his cell phone in today's world?
This is one of these like. To be fair, James also openly answers calls from Lou Reed. He's like, we should totally do a fucking album. That'll be a great idea.
I hope he doesn't, because Lou Reed's dead. He needs to be calling from the fucking grave.
Yeah. It's not going to stop James.
Shit.
James is like, oh shit. In his phone, it's listed as LOLA Lola. That's my guy. The real question is like, what's Danzig's reaction when James calls him?
Yeah, listen. Do you think Glenn Danzig has a cell phone that he uses?
No,
exactly.
You're right.
So it doesn't happen. No, he doesn't.
He doesn't have a cell phone. It seems like he doesn't have a cell phone. In fact, he has like a corner boy that answers a payphone.
Yeah,
he doesn't even have a beeper.
Yeah.
He has a guy that runs to him. Danzig.
Yeah. And he's just got like a 2008 cheap camera phone that's just filled with nothing but like pictures from graveyards. You know what I mean? Like pixelated.
Just pictures of graveyards and from that girl that was in the Mother video.
Yeah. You better shut the fuck up. We don't want Glenn coming after us. Or
Glenn's gonna watch some of your trailers, and then I think we're free. We're free, dude. Glenn's gonna be like, all right, that's a real one.
That's real, yeah.
Review of this show. South Turk is a real one.
That's a real one. Mm-hmm.
You know, this one's going into the future. Is there anything
Okay.
else, like what kind of stories and or genres would you like to explore? Like, what is something you haven't done yet that you would like to kind of do?
I mean, of course, everyone sits around and goes, "Oh, it'd be cool to do that. It'd be cool to do this." I've been very interested in kind of exploring religious concepts. Maybe not like religious movies, but I don't want to give away any secrets. You know what I mean? That I might like use later. I know that sounds wild, but growing up in the South, like we both in the same general area, surrounded, if not suffocated by, the Southern Christian mentality. So
That is such a brilliant way to put it.
yeah,
Surrounded by and almost suffocated by
yeah,
the mentality of Christianity wrapping around your neck. And like,
yeah.
look, I'm not. If you're Christian, this
Oh
this
yeah,
is
of course.
not
Yeah,
a shot, but like really, like if you're Christian, even growing up in Hall County can be too much
yeah.
sometimes during the time
Mhm.
period we grew up. And also we had like crack religious groups.
Yeah,
David Carter, like famously, from the KKK like clan with
yeah,
signs across from a church while doing his own Jerry Springer church stuff. Like, so growing up in Hall County was a little different. So if you're like
Mhm.
in LA right now listening to this, you'd be like, oh,
Yeah,
suffocating religion. It's like, no, there is a lot of extreme religion. We'll go with
yeah.
extremist religion that happened in Hall County.
Yeah. So I think like that is embedded in my psyche to a degree, and I think like some ideas I keep having are kind of floating towards that, kind of like exploring, religion as both, on its surface level and maybe it's deeper meanings to some of that. So, I think like I said earlier in the podcast about how horror just kind of lets me go down avenues that I wouldn't otherwise be able to. Um, I think some religious aspect. I mean, if you think about it, Genesis is kind of like it's got some horror-esque parts. You know what I mean? So I think I would like to. That's something I'm looking into. That's something I feel myself moving towards. It's just like exploring religious concepts, I guess, in terms of film.
So more like a psychological drama versus.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like I've outlined a feature that's about this kind of Southern preacher at three different periods throughout his life. And it starts as in it's the three periods all correspond to a miracle he performed. So it's like it starts off in the 50s, it goes to the 70s, and then ends, in the 90s. And that's something I'd really like to take further, So it's just more stuff like that,
We'll probably talk more about this off air, but like that's
Mhm.
are you gonna have the boots he made her wear on the soundtrack?
Oh no, I haven't thought about that. That's good though. That's good, but they go back. But like the truckers definitely kind of deal with this. You just for those who don't know, Chris just referenced the Drive-By Trucker song, and it's like kind of they kind of deal with the same stuff in terms of like coming to peace with their southern culture that they are embedded with, and religion is a big aspect of that, and exploring it through art. So.
Yeah, for anyone out there who's not heard of the Drive-By Truckers, they're a southern alt rock band from both Alabama and Athens, Georgia, to some extent, and they explore a lot of issues about Southern guilt and what the South is perceived as versus what the South actually is, and it's one of the most brilliant parts of that band. Like if you hear a song like General George Wallace, for instance, explaining what that is, or like them talking about Leonard Skinner and so you're around anyhow being a rebuttal to like Neil Young. It's a very much an explanation of like perceived South versus what normal people from the South are.
Yeah, the duality of the Southern thing.
Yeah,
as Patterson
some
had
might
puts it.
say.
Hey, I lost you there, man.
Yeah, I know. The internet drops at 6:30 at my house, which just happened.
Yeah,
Why? I have fault AT&T. I'm gonna leave this in here. AT&T should fucking, get the fucking balls off their chin and fix this goddamn issue that I've had at recording at this time. Anyways, I'll go into this question. It's fine. The audio did save.
Oh, okay.
Because my upload speed is ridiculous because I have fiber, which makes it even more ridiculous that it just randomly drops at 6:30 or it's 6:15 to 6:30 and then 9:15 to 9:30 and then again at 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's randomly drop. So let's see here. What advice would you give to anyone out there listening? Maybe wants to make a movie, like make a film. Like where should they start? What kind of editing apps or all of that stuff behind the scene editing kind of shit. Like what are you using? What do you like? And what's just general advice if you're just like listening to this and you're like, hey, I might want to try to make my own movie.
Everyone says, you have a camera on your phone, and that's true. Everyone has a camera in their pocket. Everyone, so it is easier than ever to make a movie. You can even find free, people might be thrown off by the structure of script writing or the format of it or something, but there's some pretty good beginner programs out there. But I think what I would tell someone is to just really focus on the idea of what you want to do. And even if you don't have an idea, well, just go out there and, take your phone and just explore, see what looks interesting, see what you connect to. I think we've almost worked towards taking the personal side out of not independent, but just filmmaking, to focus on the technical aspect of it. It's like, well, you need this, you need that, all that stuff. But it's, I think you kind of have to figure out your vision or the feeling of something before you then try to go at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, I mean, what you just so recently I just did 6M podcast with Tom Clark, Boink Studios, talking about Exile on Main Street. And Exile on Main Street is a great example of we have limited resources, right? That's the tax evasion of them. And it's just them recording in a basement. And
Chris, I'm not sure we should ever describe the Exile on Main Street as having the sessions in France having limited resources
in regards to the Rolling Stones and similar to Led Zeppelin dropping microphones over banisters in Satan's house. But you know what I'm saying? They're using it was not an actual.
They were recording in a mansion, an old castle almost.
A basement. It was so hot that
it's so hot in the basement. It's
so hot that Mick had to be naked all the time.
That's really why they kicked Graham Parsons out. He just, they were fine with English boys getting naked, but then Graham Parsons started.
That should be a movie in itself. Graham Parsons walking around France when they're not recording.
Yeah.
Graham Parsons high on heroin walking around France and and he's like,
yeah.
What the hell are you talking about, boy? I'm from White Cross, Georgia.
Yeah, exactly. Mick hating him the entire time,
there's I've had a lot to say about Mick recently, going back to a lot of the Southern R&B and gospel songs, and it's very punk rock of Mick to mimic what he thinks that sounds like, but
no, it is It's so awkward when you, especially what is I love this. I love the song on it's on Some Girls. It's the girl with the faraway eyes or whatever.
Yeah.
Where he's just doing that awful accent. You know, it's like God.
It's like you would present him a good song and be like, "Hey, here's this," and he's like, "I hate it. It's from the South. Let me do a gimmick."
Yeah, it's like going back to the truckers with Jason Isbell. You know the line from
Outfit.
Outfit, yeah. Don't sing with a fake British accent. But it's like, well, Rolling Stones sang with a fake Southern accent for fucking years.
Yeah.
At the bare minimum, if you want to go into maybe mix singing in a Southern Black American accent, that's that opens some a can of worms.
So this one is what kind of story?
Wait. I know. Sorry, I know that wasn't a great answer, but my point is like just go out, explore. I think it's better to explore than like buying things, So
Yeah,
explore
just
your art is great.
don't buy gear to buy gear. Like
Exactly.
go out, be creative, take notes.
Once again, it's just like music where people want to learn to play guitar and then they go out and buy like a $8,500 Martin. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I mean,
like,
also, that's not the wrong answer, Martin. If you're listening to this, I would love to be sponsored by you, and I would highly agree that everyone should buy a $3,000 plus Martin.
Sorry to kill your chances there, but you get what I'm saying. I do.
I love cheap
I see so many people.
You've seen me play so many fucking pieces of pine wood box bullshit. Like, it doesn't really matter if it's in tune and you can formulate a structure around whatever you're trying to do. Who gives a shit? And sometimes it makes it interesting because it sounds a specific way. I have this dumbass K guitar down there that I bought for $75, and it has that 1920s bluegrass sound, like blues sound to it, like Robert Johnson sound, because it's like literally made out of fucking plywood. It has a very particular sound. And like Jack White's like the champion of this, like buy shitty music and it has a specific sound, or shitty equipment, I should say. As long as you can get it in tune, that's the biggest thing. But
I think it's my point. It's like, especially like the social media and like these filmmaking groups and like Reddit and stuff like that. You see these people that will like drop like, close to $15,000 on a camera, a gimbal setup and all this stuff. And it's like, all right, now I'm ready to be a filmmaker. And it's like, well, what are you going to fucking do with that? You know what I mean? It's like I think a lot of people think like, oh, if I just buy the most expensive thing, then I'll be a filmmaker. I spent the money, goddammit.
At some point when
I bought the nicest, I bought the nicest Gibson I can, bought the nicest amp, and have these like $200 cables. I'm a fucking guitar player. It's like, well, not really. And I'm not hating on beginners. I'm not like trying to the gatekeeper or anything, but it's just like at some point in American culture, we became more obsessed with buying than creating. And so this is like the effects of that, where people don't understand. It's like more important to understand how they use the tools to create that you buy. Instead, it's just like, well, I bought it. Why can't I do it?
Well, I'm gonna have a little rebuttal to this because, if you're starting out, also don't buy the cheapest stuff possible, because that in itself is going to cause a learning curve. Specifically with music. Like, I know it's very easy to get a $100 guitar, and that be the thing. I'm not saying go out and buy the most, like your example of like go buy a custom shop Gibson, or like you don't need that, but also you need something that's comfortable that you can
be productive with.
Yeah, that's.
Though you could write a great, brilliant song on like a $12 guitar. It's just gonna sound a lot better when you re-record it with a real guitar.
Well, yeah, it's not only that though, but like when you're learning, like when you're first starting out, like having bad equipment is not intuitive, right? Like it becomes hard, and I think that goes across all art, or even like programming or anything. Like if you have limited resources, if you're going to fight through it. And the thing is like not a lot of people are going to fight through it. You're going to lose interest if you start with something that's bad, right?
Yeah.
Like it's gonna when it becomes a chore, that's where like the creative process is gonna stop. You know,
You're gonna spend more time tuning than writing. You know,
or you know, yeah, for sure. And I think that would go across any kind of art. And I'm not saying like don't buy anything cheap, just like research it and go into that with Bambi eyes, like wide open and with eyes wide open. Just
oh yeah, totally.
This is a big thing I used to tell parents when I did the guitar lessons and stuff is like, I know it's easy to buy the cheapest thing possible, but like if your kid is seriously interested in music and is invested, I'm not saying buy the most expensive thing in the store because I think that's a terrible thing to tell people. But you need to buy something that is usable, right? Like,
I get you.
All right. Let's see here. Oh man. Well, you know what? I ran out of questions. So we're gonna hit it with do you have any albums you've been listening to? Anything you've been watching recently that you like?
Oh man, I'm a vulture of culture, as they say. So I just finished a great, we talked a little bit about it earlier in the podcast, but I just finished a great new book on Ed Wood called Ed Wood Made in the USA by Will Sloan. And it's kind of like a analysis of Ed Wood's life in relation to his filmography. So, kind of like one of those, everyone talks about, made the worst movies of all time, Plan 9 from Outer Space, but he's such a fascinating character. And so that was quite good. And then I don't know if you're a fan, but I've been really enjoying the new Wednesday album, Bleeds. That came out a couple of weeks ago. It's pretty hot, pretty cool stuff. But the song on there called Townie, it's pretty good. I don't know if you checked that out.
I have not, but it's with a song called Townie. It seems like something I definitely would like to check out.
Yeah, Townies. I think it might be plural, but yeah. Definitely give it. Yeah, are you familiar with Wednesday at all? Or?
Yes.
Okay,
and I enjoy them.
Yeah, and then I'm watching the show. It's called Mussolini, Son of the Century. So it's pretty damn good. It's obviously about Mussolini.
I feel like Wednesday should have named their band the Mussolini Sons of the Century.
You're right. Yeah, but I was kind of aware of Mussolini throughout history. I didn't know too much about him, so I'm learning a lot. But no, it's really good.
Yeah, no, I mean Mussolini in general. There's a lot of things you can make about that guy. Weird when you get into WW2, him dying like midway through World War II. And the shift, didn't he die?
When they hung him, right?
Yeah, like he gets murdered during World War II. And
spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert! Mussolini dies, guys. So sorry. Spoilers. Yeah, that would be an interesting show. He was a real fucking right piece of shit. To the point where his country lynched him. So
yeah.
That makes an interesting story. He is the Iron Sheik of Italy.
Yeah. Speaking of, I heard Abdullah the Butcher is not doing too good. Is he all right? Have you checked in?
I have not. His Chinese restaurant shut down after COVID. The Chinese rib restaurant that he had. I will say this, and I actually talked about it yesterday on a podcast because we did this weird thing where it was like scariest professional wrestlers.
Yeah.
And I did it with Tom, and he went with scariest professional wrestlers by gimmick, and I went with scariest professional wrestlers in general. So like my number 2 was the Road Warriors because I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of Japanese young boys that never came home. Just based on how they used to be in the ring. Yeah. Another one of mine was Jimmy Superfly Snuka, and he was number 5 for me. on that list, and the reason he was number 5 is it's the same thing that, like I told you, I was like, oh, Jimmy Superfly Snuka. When I first met him, I went to your house afterwards. Actually, I was like, hey, he's such a nice guy. He was so good. But that's the scary thing is that it's the Ted Bundy of like, he was such a nice guy. So...
I thought it was like weaponized dementia or something, you know.
Well, yeah, except for Jimmy Snuka committed that murder in the 70s. And
that's true. That's
nice
true.
to be in.
You're right.
Weaponized dementia.
That's
your next
name.
That's your next movie. My grandma's going to be a part of it.
Yeah. Just your grandmother becoming a weapon.
She's like, well,
well,
4'11" Hilda Patton out here wielding a goddamn sword.
Yeah. This is gonna fix Hall County.
She will fix Hall County. She'll tell you what's wrong with it as well if you guys have about 30 minutes.
Yeah, I bet.
She has a lot of things to say about the Masked Singer too. If you guys want to spend another.
Bet she does. I bet she does.
Well, I mean, I like for me, I played Ninja Gaiden 4. It's amazing.
Yeah,
You need to play it. It's great.
I haven't played it. I saw the creator of Ninja Gaiden. He died. He passed away recently, right?
Yeah, I saw that as well. I don't know that he was involved with the new game
one.
or the creative process, but like as far as that kind of game, like a third person over the shoulder, beat 'em up action game, it's great. It does the thing that Doom did, like where it's when you kill something, you get health back and reward points, and it has the execution style kills, and then also the boss fights feel kind of epic. So like when you start a boss fight, it'll launch a metal song, right? Like as you're fighting the boss. So it has, it has very much the Doom, the Doom for Xbox, the not the original, but the newer Doom that came back when they relaunched that. It has that feel to it, but it's very fluid. Like the game movement's very fluid and stuff. So
gotcha.
It's fun.
Cool.
All right. Well, that I think wraps up the Patton Report. South, if you want to tag any kind of socials or anything you want people to see or listen to.
Yeah. Well, you can find me at southturk.com where you can see a variety of my work there. And then it sounds so 2025, but my brand, my kind of artistic output is on Shotco, and that's SHOTTCO. That can be found on Instagram. So look up Shotco on Instagram, and that's usually where you can keep up with what's new with me. I just had a short film premiere at the Atlanta Horror Film Festival, like I mentioned earlier, where it won me Best Director. So pretty proud of that. Hopefully that'll be playing in a couple more places. We just finished up kind of the rounds for my short film from last year called The Cola Tape. So we were able to take that from Atlanta to Chicago to Chattanooga, a couple other film festivals. It was really well received. So I'll probably be putting that on the website, southturk.com, pretty soon. So you can check that out, look for the contest. And just give us a follow. We're always trying to do cool stuff. And I'm sure there'll be some things popping up in the future.
Well, thank you so much for being a part of the Patton Report, and for everyone out there listening, have a good rest of the week. And that's the Patton Report.